Here at the retirement home, it's rather empty compared to last time. Well, either way, I'm sure, yeah, Jimmy's already here. Hi, Jimmy. Hi there, Michael. It's good to see you again, Jimmy. Dad, good to see you as well. And Grandfather, I heard that you have something to say to me, don't you? Yes, I do, Michael. What is it? What do you want to tell me? Well, with our family reunion here, I wanted to tell you something. What is it do you want to tell me? Well, it's that, well, I am anomalous. You're anomalous. That's why you don't look too old despite you're 101 at this point? Yes, indeed. That makes a lot of sense. You also kind of look like my friend Lawrence. That's sort of funny, but just a strange coincidence, I guess. Yeah, indeed. But you're anomalous. Yes, indeed, Michael. That means, is my dad also anomalous? Indeed. Your mother knew about this. Huh. That's why your mother married him, because I had learnt my anomalous powers a long time ago, but one thing is, I never taught Gray his powers, your father. I never taught them to him because I was afraid, because I knew about the foundation. You see, I used to work at the foundation. You worked at the foundation? Yes, indeed, Michael. I knew about them, but eventually I stopped working for them. The only way I could do that is that I had to sign an agreement not to say anything. And that's not the only thing I couldn't say. I knew about your mother, Michael, how she was the Scarlet Queen. Then why couldn't you do anything? Because she used her powers on me. I couldn't speak a word of it. I wasn't just contractually obligated to say nothing about the SCP Foundation, otherwise I would die. She would kill me if I tried to say anything about her true nature and her true plans, which I figured out in time was to create an SCP powerful enough to cause immense havoc. She wanted a son that could be like a Scarlet King in a way. I see. So you couldn't say anything because of her powers. And you couldn't say anything about the Foundation because you've been contractually obligated. Yep, I'm surprised you didn't run across that contract since you reformed the Foundation. But seeing that you are its leader, I guess I'm no longer bound to that contract. And the only person that could force me to do otherwise is you. But you're my own grandson, a grandson that has gotten older than me. Yes, indeed, because of that whole time travel thing and being stuck in the back rooms for a year, then reliving about 2 years of my life. I'm now 111. I'm 10 years older than you, Grandfather. Indeed. That's kind of odd. But why also go for John, Jimmy's father, the Master Chief? Well, you started to already figure out, and so has Jimmy, the Forerunner metal is anomalous somehow, and the Forerunners seem to have anomalous abilities. When the SCP universe combined with the Halo universe, it did more than just purely combine the two. It had a mix of the two, as you know. Yes, indeed. So the Forerunners became anomalous in a way. All Forerunner and Forerunner descendants, such as the Master Chief, who is known as the Reclaimer to, I guess, the Forerunners, such as 343 Guilty Spark, is anomalous. He has secret potential to learn anomalous abilities. So the Master Chief could learn anomalous abilities as well? Yes, indeed. The only one he seems to have by pure, chance already is luck. He is extremely lucky. Obviously, not lucky enough to not die that one time, but you brought him back. So, in a way, he was lucky enough to come back to life. In a way, the Master Chief has always had the enormous power of extreme luck. I see. And that's what made him different. Even though in the Halo universe it's just that way because he's sort of the main character. But within this combined universe, he has that extreme luck as his anomalous ability in a way. I see. And that's why Jimmy here also has that potential with my mother and his father, the Master Chief. He also had the potential to learn anomalous abilities. Indeed, Michael, this makes so much sense. Everything's fitting together now. Yes, indeed. So, you're anomalous. My father had anomalous abilities that were never tapped into, and Jimmy here, being related to the Master Chief, who's Forerunner in a way, he also had that potential. Really anomalous family we have here, don't we, George? Yes, indeed. So, then that's the secret, and now that the Scarlet Queen, my mother, is dead, you can't be forced to keep the secret anymore. And with me being the leader of the foundation, you can finally reveal that as well. How come you weren't able to do it beforehand though? At least the stuff about the SEP Foundation. You had only recently reformed at the time, so your control of the Foundation was in a way less, and I didn't want to take the risk. I see. Well, either way, goodbye for now, I guess. Thank you for this information. No problems, Michael. You are my grandson after all, and I always look out for you. But now I'm gonna get back out there. I'm gonna travel the multiverse again. I've been rusty on my anomalous abilities, haven't used them in a while, but I think it's about time, seeing that I'm immortal, just like you, Michael, that I get back out there and start helping people again. Yep, indeed. Well, good luck, grandfather. You'll definitely need it. Things are dangerous out there. Yes, indeed. But I think that's what I'll do. Well, until we next meet, George. Yes, indeed, Michael. And Father, you have enormous abilities. Wow, that's kind of crazy. So, what will you do now, knowing this? I don't know. It's a lot to take in. I really don't know. Yep, indeed. Maybe you could become immortal like the rest of us. Live with us. We can be a family together. I don't think so, Michael. You, your grandfather, and Jimmy all have potential to do good. But I've lived my life. I've lived a normal life this whole time. There's never been anything particularly special for me. I just want to live out the rest of it. But that means when you die, it'll be permanent. Some things are meant to die, Michael. You can't save everyone forever. I guess you're right. I'll allow you to choose this choice, Father. It is your choice after all. Yes, indeed, Michael. I'm sorry, but eventually I'll be gone. Yes, but you're 67, you still got like probably another good decade. I think you'll be around for a while. It's not like you're going anywhere just yet. Yes, indeed. But it will definitely be a sad day for me when you finally die. Indeed. But until that day, I'm gonna enjoy life while I still have the chance. Indeed. And how has the new wheelchair been? I know it's a powered one, so occasionally you still have to use your old one, but how has it been? Yes, it's been very useful. Good, good. Alright, but I'll definitely talk to you later, Father. Indeed, Michael. And Jimmy, how's it been so far? Pretty good. And, have you been, enjoying the new simulation, you know? Yeah, the new simulation was pretty good. I can't wait until next time to see where it goes. Yeah, we'll be in that soon enough. Yeah, returning to what you call Halo Infinite, because you always refer to them as their game names, because you're one of the few people who can remember before the merge, probably because of your enormous powers. Indeed, Jimmy. But you're enormous as well as you're anomalous as well, Jimmy. Now, yep, indeed. But either way, bye, Jimmy. I'll see you later. Do you want to talk to them? Yeah, I'll stay here and talk to them for a while. Alright, bye, everyone. I'll leave you be. Alright, goodbye, Michael. Alright, time to get out of here. It is definitely a quiet day. Probably not a lot of people. Either way, time to get out of here.